Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Um, it is the seventh day, day 7 of the Omer count, the final day of the week that deals with loving kindness, the different aspects of of loving kindness. The seventh day, the day that completes the cycle, is malchut. Malchut, malchut shebechesed, the sovereignty or the kingdom, dominion, reign, royalty of loving kindness, of chesed. It's interesting that this word malchut is associated with the seventh aspect that is looked at in the cycle. When you think about a cycle, 7, dealing with the completion of a thing. When you've reached all of the points that were necessary to hit in the in the revolution of the cycle, that completed cycle, is malchut, sovereignty. Those things which are associated with or come out from the king. We think about the outflow of power from the royal station, the outflow of power from the royal station. The kingdom, right, is that which belongs to the king. So when you think about those things that which belong to the king, our king, Yeshua HaMashiach, is, that he's our master, right? He's our malach. He is our melech, our king, right? So when we think about this in regards to loving kindness, that the culmination of all of the points, right, where we get to the place of dealing with the royalty, the sovereignty of chesed, the completion of the cycle, connecting it with the king, of course, Yeshua. We are walking in this walk so that we can, walk in the likeness of our king. We forever want to continue to draw closer and closer to our king. We continually want to strive to walk in that way, that our king walked in, right? The goal, the mark, that place where we're trying to get to is that place of the king, right? So when we get to this spot with loving kindness, when we're perfectly walking in loving kindness, emulating, mimicking our king, when we're true followers or mimickers of the king, right? It's giving you the picture of that perfectness of his kingdom, the outflow of his power, right, from the royal station, which is the kingdom, right? So I wanted to just look at a verse real quick. Mercy, Proverbs 20:28. Mercy and truth preserve the king. Mercy, chesed, and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upheld by mercy. His throne is upheld by mercy. So when we think about the throne of the king, it's not literally talking about the place where he sits necessarily, right? It's kind of picturing for you what? The kingdom. The kingdom. The throne is synonymous with the kingdom, right? His throne is upheld by mercy. His kingdom, the kingdom of the king, is upheld by chesed. Right? It's an intricate part when we think about the character of the Messiah, the character of Yeshua. Um, Mercy is that intricate part, right? So when we get to that place where again we're walking in the character of our Master, our Savior, Yeshua, walking in mercy, walking in his loving kindness, walking in his chesed. It's an exact representation of who he is because again, his kingdom is upheld by mercy. It's the thing that holds it up. It's the thing that holds it up is that chesed, right? The thing that holds it together is that chesed, right? To it in its perfect manifestation, right? So, um, as we look at the end of this week and thinking forward to the next, right? When we think about that seventh part of each of these attributes, right? We're dealing with it in regards to, its connection to Yeshua, right? With its connection to the originator, right? Of all of these things, right? We're not sitting here at the end of the day trying to do things so that we can earn something or have points attributed to our name. But at the end of the day, what we are doing here is walking in the Spirit of the Most High, which is causing us to emulate the character of his son, Yeshua, right? So, it being Shabbat, it's easy for you to think about walking in loving kindness in its most perfect state, in that malchut, in that royalty stage, right? Because it's Shabbat. But let us, as we deal with malchut, shebeh chesed, let us deal with the dominion, the sovereignty of loving kindness in Shabbat, pushing us forward to the next week, right? Because at the end of the day, we're dealing with these 50 days, right? We're dealing with these 50 days where we're in a progression of weeks, right? So we've dealt with loving kindness for this week, and we're not leaving it behind, but we're building on it. So we build on that perfect loving kindness, which will push us into the next attribute. Okay, but I don't want to talk too long. I want to keep it short and sweet. So again, Shabbat Shalom to you, and we will see you on tomorrow, Yah willing.